chapter 2, verse 17. In the last days, God says, I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy, and your young men will see visions. Your old men will dream dreams. I feel moved recently to start sharing some dreams with you. I've had dreams since I was a child. Quite a few have come true. The biggest one I can remember is 9/11. I'm not sure what it is, but the spirit is moving within me, and I really feel like I need to start letting these things out. Get past this nervousness and this fear of society. We all know we get laughed at, we get criticized. People think we're self-righteous, and it couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, I feel like I'm a bottom of the barrel person. I don't deserve God's blessings, but that's how God works. In 2020, I had 2 dreams back to back, both the same, just different countries. And the first, China, was I walked outside and I looked up in the sky, and thousands of soldiers were coming down. Parachutes, machine guns, grenades, the whole nine, just full-scale invasion. After that dream, I had a dream of Russia doing the exact same thing. And after that dream, I asked God for confirmation, clarification, verification through someone, my wife, my children, someone, so that I would know that I needed to share this when the time was right. Soon after, my wife had a dream along the same lines. She walked outside, looked up in the sky, and as far as she could see, parachutes. But these guys were in white hazmat suits. They had red stars on them, gas masks, strapped with machine guns. Full-scale invasion again. You know what I mean? Small areas, big areas. It didn't matter. Like, they were coming. There was no stopping it. With that verification and confirmation that I got through my wife, I knew at some point I would be sharing this. I've had to work past a lot of nerves. I've tried to talk to people about these dreams. I just get laughed at and criticized, so it's time to share with the masses. Let the cards fall where they may. You guys pray about this. Ask God to reveal these things to you. And God bless. I love y'all.
Orlando, it is Saturday late afternoon. I wanted to talk to you about a couple of dreams that I've had. I think they're prophetic, and I wanted to share them with you. Some of these are a couple weeks old. The first one that I wanted to share is I was dropped off by my wife at an airport. I go to the counter. There is an Indian from India over the counter taking care of customers. And when I approach him, he brings me a magazine. He takes the magazine, he throws it on the countertop, and he opens it up. It's a 2-page magazine. On that magazine, there is the background is like stone mountains, kind of earthy like reddish atmosphere, dark, like if it was night, but you could see the reddish of the stones and the mountains and stuff. And on there was the U.S. military, and in front it had like a tank, and then in front of the tanks it had all the flags that surrounds our planet. So he had every flag of all the nations in front of it. And then he takes the magazine and he points at it. And he points at it, I believe it was 3 times he points at it. He's pointing to me, going like this. And he tells me, or the magazine, I can't remember exactly, but he tells me, or I'm reading off the magazine, and it says that our economy has crashed. And that the flags that were in front of it was now in control of our nation. That we owe these nations, we had our debt, we owe these nations, and now they were in control of our nation. And that we were no longer in power as the superpower that we normally believe and know that we grew up with. And so I'm there and I'm saying, so how am I going to pay my way out of this airport? How am I going to get home? My money's no good. And so I had to try to find my way to come home. And I was panicking because the money was no good. And that's all I remember from that dream right now. There's probably a couple more details to it. I haven't talked about it in a couple weeks, so I don't remember all the details. I did write it down. I will have to look that up. But that was a dream that I had a couple weeks ago. And then my most recent dream was that I had a dream that around the coastline of the United States, between the Jersey coastline to the coastline of Florida, Texas, and California, all around surrounding our country, that you had warships surrounding our country. And you had Russians and Chinese troops in our land. And they were out and about shooting people. And now, within the dream, I'm telling my daughter about the dream. And when I'm telling her, there's a map that just comes out of nowhere. And I can look at the map and I can see where all the warships are located. So now I go put on a bag and I go to evangelize. And I felt like the Lord was telling me, just go. And I was walking, it was dark, and I was walking the streets, and I had no clue where I was going. I ended up in this huge open courtyard, and there was people there. So I started warning people about what was coming, and people started to repent. People were sobbing, they were crying, and they were afraid of what was coming our way. So then uh, I started when I started telling them what was coming and telling them about my dream, then I started to evangelize, giving them the gospel, and people were repenting. And then I woke up. Um, my wife had a dream that they were surrounding Israel, and war was about to break out in Israel. And she sees the Lord coming on a white horse. And she starts to pray for Israel. And the Lord just pointed to Israel. He pointed to Israel, and it's like everything, the Lord was protecting Israel. Everything that was about to happen to Israel, the Lord protected it. These are the dreams that I've had. This is the dreams that my wife has had. I wish I can remember more about the first dream I just talked about. All I remember is that it was scary. It was confusing. I believe that we are in the cusp of war breaking out, famine. I believe that the economy will crash, whether it'll be this year, next year. I would say keep your eyes open, keep alert, and prepare. I believe something's coming, and if not now, I'm thinking 2023, before our next election. Um, you need to prepare. You need to pray. Get your family together and pray every night, and pray for wisdom, pray for discernment. Pray that God will just give you insight how to protect your family, how to provide for your family, what to do. I believe the Lord is speaking. So many other people, my sisters have had several dreams about war and troops on ground on the ground here, and she had a dream that our own military was threatening people's lives over the rejecting the soup that people are totally against. And they were saying, choose. And if you don't choose, you will be killed. Things are just escalating regarding the everything that is going on regarding this, and things are going to get worse. They're not going to get any better. We are not going back to what is normal. That doesn't exist any longer. Ever since 2001, 9/11, our world has never been the same. And we have forgotten what took place in 9/11. And things are heading in a direction that the world as you knew it from 2001, 2019, 20 is only going to continue to completely change, where they want to identify you, they want to implement technology with humans. War will break out. If you look at what's going on with China, Taiwan, if you look at what's happening with Israel and Iran, if you look at what's happening with the Taliban's, all the stuff that's just going around, pay attention. Open your eyes and pray. Pray for your family. Pray for your church. Pray for revival. Pray for an awakening. Pray that God will pour out His Spirit on these last days, so the greatest revival that the world has ever seen will see, and the church will move in the power of God before that dreadful day comes. Because I believe revival has to break, and then we will see the great falling away, and we will see what will take place. I believe that God is speaking to us through dreams and visions, and we need to pay attention. So thank you again for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the subscribe button. Watch my other videos.